to save the day. He's got all the skills, he's got all the experience. We are in for one almighty contest. I hope you enjoy it here on Sky Sports. They are about to get ready for the national anthems. And after the anthems, we'll be joined by the commentary team from Channel 9, led by Phil Gould, Ben Ikin and Andrew Voss.
Sung by Nick Afar, so could you please stand? Thank you.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts. Our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance the Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance the Australia fair.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the New Zealand National Anthem, sung by Kendall Baker.
Fans stirred up for a big night. These two teams clashed on 4 occasions last year, 2 wins apiece. Their one clash earlier this year at Suncorp in May resulted in a big win to the Kangaroos. Now they face off for the haka. Kiwis on halfway, the Australians lined up on their 40-metre line. Face to face. One of the great moments in international sport when the Kiwis are involved. Well, there you go, the heavyweights. They stare at each other in the eye. Willie Mason looks fired up for a big night. Why not? Our pictures come courtesy of Sky New Zealand tonight. Rennie Matua's on debut. Look at Manu Vatuvei, the beast. He is ready to go. I don't know whether Willie was too impressed. Jonathan Thurston, Andrew Ryan, a little nonplussed about it all. Young Australian is referee Ashley Klein. These days refereeing in the Super League. Refereed the grand final last year. Now there is some news. Willie Mason will start from the bench on the interchange for the start of this one. It means that Mark O'Meley is out there, starting 13. We're underway, the Tri-Nations Series for 2006, and straight away it's the Ogre who brings it back. And there were a wall of black jumpers, a moving wall at that. Kangaroos with Sivanasiva, rushes up and hit hard by Kidwell, and the drive comes. Vangana over the top, Wiki as well, and Kidwell. Kangaroos on their 20. Engaged in a war of words coming into the match. A lot of the former greats having their say as Sivanasiva gets over the 30. Everyone anticipating there'd be fireworks early. Kicking out of dummy half, Cameron Smith on debut from the Melbourne Storm. Good kick first up as well. 5 metres out from the Kiwis line. Webb straight away linking up Tupou and pushed back in the tackle by Justin Hodges. Nonko's teammates. A lot of that across the board in this match tonight. Vadavai took the hit up to the 20. Now followed up by Matai. Young Manly set. 2 centres on debut tonight for New Zealand. Here's another one on debut. Simon Mannering for the Kiwis. 35 metres out from his own line, tackled by Smith and Hindmarsh. Hallertau sends them back with Wiki, and up comes O'Meley. Just a front-on grab, ball and all tackle. They're 41 out from their own line. They'll kick here through Jones. Goes down centre field. Not a good bounce for the Kangaroos. Now it sits up for Hunt. Puts a hop in. He's chased down there by Matai. And makes the tackle. Australians 25 metres out from their own line. King it is. His job to bring back centre field. They picked him up. Asatazi. Wiki. Kidwell. Getting in the thick of it. Kangaroos now just outside their 20. And there's that shimmy from Gaznia. Running out to the right side as far as the 30. Wiki made the tackle. Smith. Back to Sivanasiva. Gets into stride but runs into Hallertau. Hallertau only played 14 matches this year for the Tigers. Sivanasiva have lost control of the ball. Smith has got this kick from inside the 40. And again it's to the wing of Tame Tupou. And Tupou returns with a football. Hasn't had much of late. Game time, being 18th man in the grand final for Brisbane.
And Bossy, you can see the tactics here from Australia in the opening stages. As soon as they get to their own 40-metre line, Cameron Smith is kicking out a dummy half, and that's trying to take the enthusiasm and the volatility out of this New Zealand opening gambit. They're going to kick the ball early, turn New Zealand around, and do a little bit of bashing of their own.
So this time O'Meley, Hindmarsh and Sivanasiva got up on Asatazi. Jones had to lunge forward, linking up there with Kidwell. Kidwell put on the spin and now driven back by Smith and Thurston. Back to the 40-metre line. Kiwis in possession. His opening game of the Tri-Nations. Now Jones for Vangana, and they're away down the right side and having to kick. It's fielded by Carmichael Hunt. Now Webber's chased through. Some of the crowd unhappy that Vangana was tackled. It was pretty much simultaneous.
I don't think there was any problem with the tackle on Vangana, but I thought he could have done more with it. He didn't show much pace when he got into the clear, and he had support players moving up on the inside. I thought it was a fairly rash decision to put his foot to the ball.
Still signs of promise. Little short side raid from them. Able to open up the Australians. Now Crossfield almost shepherd around the back of O'Meley. They gave themselves up. They said forward pass as well.
The Kiwis had great success in 2005 because they were able to build pressure, complete sets. It was less about the ad-lib football they'd become famous for. And it's good to see them here tonight be less about passion and getting up in your face, wanting to get involved in the collision, but rather complete sets and get the ball down the other end, because opportunities will come like this. They'll force the error. They're in a good position now to attack the Australian line.
Kiwis 40 metres out from the Australian line, and Soliola has a touch, this young Roosters centre. Former junior Kiwi, spotted by Arthur Beetson, playing for the junior Kiwis back in 2003. Their first big attacking chance of the game, and referee Klein comes straight in. Rules a penalty to New Zealand. He gets a hand on Nathan Hindmarsh when he came in as well. Gets right in the thick of it, does Ashley Klein.
Simon Mannering, the 13. Never played lock forward before in senior football. He got a high one there from Hindmarsh. But coach Brian McLennan looking for a little bit more mobility in the back row. Here they come, the Kiwis.
Vatuvei takes the first hit up, and he was airborne there for a moment as O'Donnell provided a real lift in the tackle. And a dummy half goes Halatau. He's only 3 metres from the line. New Zealand on the attack. Kiwi chant goes up here at Mount Smart. Now for Jones. Across it comes with Webb. Bound for England next year, off to play for Leeds. Then on for Kidwell. Put a fend on Thurston. And Thurston comes again to make the tackle. Quick play the ball. Away goes Vangana. He turned them around. Nigel Vangana gets in goal for New Zealand and will be held up. Referee Klein right there and wants to send it up to the video referee.
Well, he showed some pace that time. Just criticised his lack of speed when he broke into open play a few moments ago. But he showed good pace out of dummy half. The quick play the ball from Kidwell gave him an opportunity. Plenty of determination. It's hard to imagine he's got the ball down with all those Australians hanging on, and he is... Whoa! Was there a feint touch?
He went close there. They're going to look at it closer, obviously.
Well, you won't see from this side. There is a very slick moment there. Now, is that a touch?
Oh.
Is that a touch?
That's a touch.
It's Nathan Hindmarsh's arm. I'm still not convinced.
Is that a touch?
Oh.
Does it hit the grass?
It was about the fourth effort, but...
Well, it flicks the blade of grass, does it?
Well...
Oh, these video referees. It's a team event tonight.
That hits the grass, baby.
Mr. McIntosh is the Kiwi. Mr. Nash is the Aussie up in the video referee's box.
That hits the grass for mine. That's a try.
Well, he's about to become the greatest try scorer in New Zealand Test Rugby League history. We'll take his tally to 18. Nathan Hindmarsh doesn't think it's a try. The Australians are lining up for a play the ball on the 10-metre line. Waiting for the decision. They say try. Benefit of the doubt. Some of the Australians are blowing up. Carmichael Hunt, the 19-year-old's got into the middle of it and saying cool it down. Kiwi scored first 4 points to nil.
Good work by Nigel Vangana. Plenty of determination there. And that's the way to play the Australians. Move them around and then be sharp out of dummy half. It's the run out of dummy half that catches them napping. Good speed, good determination. And as we saw, it was only one minute particle of a minute, one minute particle of a second that he got the ball on the ground.
They're big, they're strong. And the Australians created this opportunity for the Kiwis. Getting this close to the line, they're big, they've got great footwork. Nigel Vangana, fantastic player.
Scoring the try, Nigel Vangana. I don't know about particles of a minute or a second, Gus. Nanosecond. He had it for a nanosecond, but was he held up long enough? That's the thing that Nathan Hindmarsh will argue.
No, the replay was in slow motion. The replay was in slow motion. At normal speed, he made good effort at the line. And that's all you got to do. You just got to ground the ball. You don't have to keep it there for an age.
Well, they got the first try back in the test match in May. It was to David Kidwell. Tonight it's to Vangana. Look at a tally, 42nd test for Jones, and he finds himself 9 behind his captain tonight, Ruben Wiki. They've got a few captains in this side. Vangana is captain New Zealand, so is Nathan Kalis. Jones leading point scorer in last year's Tri Nations. First kick of the night, 15 metres in from touch, and Stacey Jones nails the first one. And the home side lead by 6 points to nil in front of the Mount Stadium fans. And Nigel Vangana bound for the South Sydney Rabbitohs next year, starting with plenty of enthusiasm tonight.
Fantastic stuff from the Kiwis. Like I said, big and strong, hard to stop from that close.
Still not convinced, but happy to live with benefit of the doubt. So New Zealand on the board, and Roy Asatazi returns the footy. He's had just that one game since suffering the knee injury against the Broncos. 24. New Zealand 25 metres out from their own line. Webb got into dummy half that time for his captain Wiki, and it was Hindmarsh who got into a wrestle with the New Zealand captain. Now Kidwell, up he goes. He was criticised for some handling errors in that grand final. He's locked the ball under the wing so far with every carry tonight. Now Asatazi on for Wiki and hit well low by O'Mealy. Knocked him down, which is not easy to do. And New Zealand will kick in. Jones having to switch. The second choice kicker is Webb. Had to rush his attempt. Fielded by Inglis. What a night for him. What a night for his family. Two teenagers in this Kangaroos back line. Inglis is the youngest, but only by a couple of months. Now with Hodges. Tackled short of halfway. The two front rowers, Asatazi and Wiki, and the Kangaroos settle down centre field with O'Mealy. And taken that time by Tony Pulatua. Captain at club level, not at international level. Tony, captain of the Panthers. Now O'Donnell, North Queensland cowboy. Met by 4 New Zealand defenders. They're 41 metres away from the line. Ryan, Berrigan, Mason, all part of a very strong interchange for the Kangaroos. Nice run there by Cameron Smith. 30 metres out from the line. Hunt for Thurston. He'll kick across and Inglis through on the chase. He's good under the high ball. Tupou gets to it first. Now Tupou close to the sideline. Does very well to leave it on the ground. The touch judge ruled that he went over the sideline. Tupou left it there for someone to pick up. The Kangaroos got to it.
He actually did really well. Good take. And he was infield here, but just the cover defence coming across. Well, Hodges on his own with great strength was able to pull him over the sideline. So a good result there for the Australians and a great attacking opportunity. Hodges has moved to 5'8" off the scrum. Big right foot step, strong player. They might let him go one-on-one here.
Thurston across with Hodges, runs across field. Now he has to stutter and straighten, and Webb's there, and the cavalry come. Mannering, Fungana. 19 metres out from the line, Kangaroos trailing by 6 points to 0. From centre field, Thurston dumps it off there for Sivanasiva. Good low tackle from Dean Hallertau. The lone West Tiger in this match. Now Cameron Smith tackled 5 metres away from the New Zealand line. Luke O'Donnell finds himself at dummy half for Jonathan Thurston. Now for Lockyer, comes across field, brings in Hunt, and it's batted on there by Hodges for Inglis, and it's called forward. Hodges put his mitt to the ball, then into the clutches of Inglis, and called forward by referee Klein.
He got up in the Aussies' face in the Kiwis. Tame Tupu has put a huge shot on Carmichael Hunt after he's passed the ball, forced the error. They need to be doing this over the full 80 minutes though. The Kiwis can't come in waves. That was a very good effort in defence.
It looked dangerous though, Ben. It looked dangerous. I mean, they created the numbers on the outside. I know they went up quickly there, New Zealand, but they still made an error. It was only the juggle by Hodges that stopped the try being scored.
Maddie has had a haircut between his last game for Manly and his first test for New Zealand. We're used to seeing him with the dreadlocks. They're all gone for his test debut. Hallertau with Asatazi. Another one bound for South Sydney next year. And here's another penalty to New Zealand. 31 metres out from their own line.
Kiwis don't need many of these to start to build momentum. Piggybacks down the other end of the field, mistakes from the Aussies. You just can't give them easy possession in your half. They get excited, they start throwing the ball around, all of a sudden they're awfully hard to defend against.
A great deal to it. And welcome to our audience through Great Britain. Watching the coverage of this opening match of the series, we get to see the Great Britain side in a fortnight's time in Christchurch, South Island of New Zealand. And here is Jones, New Zealand 40 metres out from the line, Mannering. Putting Mannering at lock. They did have Shontaine Harpy there at lock in the Tri-Nations final last year, and it worked then. So McLennan, the coach, trying it again with another centre. Here is Webb, 30 metres out from the line.
He looks a little uncertain there, Mannering. His 2 runs have been a bit hesitant, so he's going to have to warm into the task there.
Hallertau, Jones, and a very flat ball there for Wiki. Risky ball out the back, scooped up by Asatazi. Thurston's away for the Kangaroos. Inside the 40, a host of New Zealand jumpers there. And catching him was the second rower, David Kidwell. Kangaroos 20 metres out from the line. Lockyer gets it up to Gazdia. Gazdia got away from Vanify. Mannering there to wrap him up. 9 metres away from the line. What a gift it was for Jonathan Thurston. Now Lockyer, pass out in front, scooped up there by Matua and held in the tackle of Ruben Wiki. 10 metres from the line, the Kangaroos attack. Smith goes across field. Hodges had Vangana at 6s and 7s, then got away from a couple. Great step. Justin Hodges is there to the goal line. Held up by the defence. Halatau's got a headlock on him. Quick play the ball. It was dropped there for Smith. Then for Lockyer. Try presents itself. Hunt will score for the Kangaroos. They're entitled to go back and look at the play the ball, I reckon. But they've said try to Australia and it's 6 points to 4.
Just as I said, if New Zealand want to persist with racing up willy-nilly out wide in defence, Australia will cut them to shreds. Look at the big overlap they develop here, just with the clever use of a decoy play. This is Azatazi, I think, will catch the ball and actually pass it to Jonathan Thurston. Thought it was his own man. That was the gift in back play that led to Australia getting down this end of the field. New Zealand did well to get back and scramble in defence, held them out for a couple of tackles, but then it was a simple ball movement out to the right-hand side of the field and one decoy player. And look at the huge overlap here. Carmichael Hunt is 20 metres in from touch and not a defender in front of him. Now that's poor defence there, poor read by New Zealand. They just ran out of numbers. And as I said, if they want to race up willy-nilly, Australia will cut them to shreds out on the edges.
Carmichael Hunt scores his first test try in only his second match. His first test back in May ended with a pretty big bout of concussion. That's been well documented during the week. The build-up, that tackle from Frank Pritchard on the night at Suncorp. Jonathan Thurston, first choice kicker. Now he's had only the 2 games in the top level since round 20 when he dislocated his knee against the Broncos. Came back for the last round against Parramatta for the Cowboys and more recently played up in Port Moresby for the Prime Minister's 13. And his first kick is 5 in from touch. He's taken it back 25 metres. Level the scores. Jonathan Thurston with his first kick. A lot of swing on it. Has nailed it as Jones did. And 6-all. Rugby League, Test Rugby League on Channel 9.
Make sure you keep holding the 10, yeah? Keep holding the 10. Don't go early, all right? Talk to the guys here.
14 minutes gone. This play the ball from Hodges.
Early, guys. Make sure you wait.
Just put it on the ground and hope for the best.
Keep holding David on the 10. David. Keep holding with 10. Just hold, wait.
Back at Mount Smart Stadium on Channel 9. Game 1 of the Tri-Nation Series. And O'Mealy returns for the Kangaroos. Opening try to Nigel Vangana. A reply from Carmichael Hunt. And we're left with a 6-all scoreline. Both goal kickers very good with their first of the night. Here's Sivanasiva in reverse for 10 metres there. Taken down by Azatazi and Kidwell, and his penalty to the Kangaroos. Now they get a bit of momentum, the green and golds.
Looks a bit ominous at this stage in the sense that for me that the Aussies appear just to be absorbing the pressure. They knew the contest was going to get tough in the first 20 minutes, but they knew that they had the depth. They had the effective game plan that if they executed.
Well, Kickton had fell in the line at the first attempt, was battered down by Tupou, and then in trying to regather, he put his foot on the sideline. Bottom line, Kangaroos will get the scrum feed, Ben.
Yeah, look, it's exactly what I'm talking about as we see the kick here. It's a great attempt to try and keep the ball in play. Eventually goes out, and the Aussies get the field position that they want, albeit from the scrum now. But if they continue to build pressure, the Aussies, if they can maintain good possession and build pressure, believe you me, they have got the strike power in this back line to really pile on some points.
Just saw a little chat there between Lockyer and Inglis as they form for the scrum. Here is Inglis, a dummy, and show of the ball to Lockyer. Gets a chance to back himself, Greg Inglis. Held there by Webb. Mannering came across as well, 12 metres out from the line. The Australians very much on the boil with O'Donnell. And O'Donnell loses his legs in the tackle. Down low was Pulatua. Smith, Thurston, Lockyer. They're looking to open them up again on the left, and Matul was cut down low. Great tackle from Yosia Soliola. A young rooster, Lockyer. Now they'll stretch them on the right-hand side. Hunt goes through again. Second try to the Kangaroos. And that was dead easy for them. Just split them wide open. And Hunt's test try tally quickly jumps to 2. It's 10 points to 6.
It's so important in rugby league these days that when you go with a big play, you're prepared to back it up with another one. The Australians go out to the left-hand side of the field and immediately reform back at the post. Good decoy runner, Jonathan Thurston. Hunt's found his way back to the middle of the field, and all of a sudden you're running decoys and playing plays against forwards who aren't normally used to defending to this sort of, finesse. And it was just easy there for Thurston to put Hunt in under the post. Tremendous play.
And it's a combination, these three players here, Lockyer to Thurston, Hunt looming up on the outside, that they had success with at origin level. These three players, including Cameron Smith, the four positions that are so important to any side, have played together at origin level and had success. And that showed then. They showed that they knew each other's game, they knew where to pop up at the right time. And at this level, it can create havoc for opposition defences.
Willie Mason now on. Mark O'Meley off. What about the career of Carmichael Hunt? State of Origin, Test match football, a premiership, all before his 20th birthday. He'll turn 20 on November 17. Michael Hancock did all of that, I think, for the Broncos. He achieved plenty before he was 20. And back over to Jonathan Thurston. Easier this second attempt. Certainly did get a lot of right to left on his first kick. Not required with this one. And the Kangaroos, having trailed by 6, now lead by 6. 18 minutes gone.
He looks a good touch, Thurston, doesn't he? For a guy that didn't play a hell of a lot of football at the back end of the season, he staked his claim earlier to replace the great Andrew Johns. Ricky Stewart's given him an opportunity here to continue that role in the Australian side. As we see Ruben Wiki on the sideline.
He's hopped on the bike. Nathan Kalis now out there, the Parramatta captain. And Stacey Jones to restart play. Almost through the first quarter of this opening Tri-Nations game. Carmichael Hunt away for Willie Mason to get his first touch. And his first touch is dynamite. As he left an imprint on David Kidwell. Little calling card there. I've arrived, I'm here. Now Simona Siva with the ball for the Kangaroos. 25 metres inside their own half. They come up with Reema Tua. And another penalty for the Kangaroos. Well, these are bad signs. They're getting a real run of possession here. New Zealand haven't touched the ball for the last 4 or 5 minutes now.
You won't be surprised to see Australia go wide again as soon as they can. The decoy running out on the edges of the field really has New Zealand stretched. Natua's had a couple of nice touches early in this game. Here comes Mason, the big fella.
And Willie Mason with it. Ran straight at Kidwell again. More effective this time in the tackle with Azatazi. They're 20 metres out though. Smith, Simona Siva. Plenty of work in the opening quarter of this match. Kangaroos have got Lockyer about 3 wide of the ruck here. Thurston switches across to the left side. A dummy from Thurston. Taken low down in a tackle which really could be classified as a try-saving tackle by Webb with Hodges. And now away for Lockyer. Ran out of options there. Now links up with Hunt. That's a pretty good option to have if it was the plan B. Tackled by Hallertau. 10 metres away from the line. Kangaroos leading by 6. Lockyer across and finds Mason running a straight line. Great tackle by Nigel Vangana on Willie Mason. Smith with it. 5 metres out from the line. Big ricochet off the legs of Webb. And back forward is Soliola.
Accidental offside here, I think. Soliola was in front of the New Zealand player who first made contact with the ball. It'll be deemed accidental offside, so a scrum feed to Australia 10 metres out. More pressure for the Kiwis, and they are really stretched at the moment. No possession. Australia with a great array of skill and plays, and everyone seems to be on their game. This is good to watch.
So scrum 10 metres out. The ricochet was off Webb, then bounced into Soliola. He didn't pick it up until he was back behind Webb, but referee Klein had to play that first accidental offside. Inglis found himself at 5 out again, across for Lockyer. Here's trouble, here's Gasnier. Links up, doesn't find King. Goes over the sideline. King then pushed down, and here goes Fattify with Matt King. Now they've collared him from behind. Matai got in there. They've rushed in from everywhere. The cameraman's gone down. In the corner here at Mount Smart Stadium, the fireworks that they all expected, well, they've erupted. There's ball shooters and Roman candles and whatever fireworks you can think of, they've erupted here.
When in doubt, start a blue. They've been under pressure, the Kiwis, the last 10 or so minutes. The Aussies had a quiet confidence about them, a real calmness. They made the error there. It's a little bit of frustration from both sides, I think, played its part. It'll be interesting to see some replays and see who actually started this. But geez, there was some fire in the belly in the corner there.
Well, we can't take any closer than that. Our cameraman was right in the middle. He took a bullet for the team. God love him.
he's a local too. He's one of the Sky Sports New Zealand cameramen. Matt King called out.
Actually, after this play was tackled past the end goal, he stood up, he's trying to punch and hit an opposing player in the back of the head.
Ben Cummins, Australian touch judge.
Okay, mate, seriously, there's no need for that at all. Ball miles out. Hey, no need to talk. Back away now, penalty's going to go against you over here.
It's found to have ignited that. Talk about your third man in. What about Steve Maddai? Put a crash tackle. It was just a bump and a push. King gets up. He was pushed by the wrong man. He started throwing him at the wrong bloke. And Maddai comes up with a ball and all tackle from behind. And here's where we did find trouble. Vadavai had it cocked on Thurston.
What was Jonathan Thurston doing? He's 80 kilos ringing wet. He's gone up against Manu Vadavai, 110 kilos.
There's the Sky Sports cameraman. He was right in the middle now, man.
He weighs in at 67 kilos, for those of you interested on his stats.
Never threw a punch.
Kiwis in possession. Klein's got a penalty. The referee's got his hands full. Young Ashley Klein. This has really fired up everyone. Crowd, cameramen, players.
If I was Matty King, I wouldn't throw another one at that big bloke. He looks like he can handle himself.
Well, you want to make sure you've got the right bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, Vadavai just bumped him. It was Maddai, Steve Maddai, who pushed him over into the fence. And he got up swinging at Manu Vadavai. Here is Vadavai with the ball. On halfway for New Zealand. 12 points to 6 scoreline to the Kangaroos. Test match rugby league on Channel 9. And up came Hindmarsh with a tremendous tackle front on Mannering. He's learning a bit about Test football in a hurry tonight. Now Nathan Kalis for the Kiwis. 35 metres away from the Kangaroos line. This time with it is Blair, the young Melbourne Storm forward. Some thought the tackle was high there from Smith and Mason. Boy, this game has really lifted up now. Jones locked horns there with Simona Siva. That is a mismatch. 21 metres out from the line. King over the top to the corner. King's there does superb for the Kangaroos. A rematch of a different kind there between Vadavai and King.
I thought he was very composed there, Vadavai. He could have let his emotions get the better of him and thought, well, here's a free shot on King. But instead he competed for the ball. King got the better of him on that occasion, but good composure there from Vadavai. Got to give him a rap for that.
Brent Kite now out there on debut, and then Mason gets a shoulder from Kedwell, who gives him the round to the kitchen after it. Pritchard stands over the top. What about this on Big Willie? Big Willie is down for the count.
And I think Kid will give him about 3 verses of the Harker after he hit him too. There was plenty of dancing on the spot.
There's a standing ovation here at Mount Smart, Gus.
Kabang! Good stuff. And up he gets, Kidwell. And I'm sure he'll recite a little bit of the Harker that Mason was blowing up about before the game. He gets up, he's got the tongue going, he's got the eyes going, he's got the whole thing happening.
Well, this is Test match footy, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a black eye, Willie Mason. He's back up. Stand by. Here we go again. Who wants to take the next one? Kite gets his first touch in Test footy. And he's driven down. Boy.
He won't be bagging the Harker next week.
The kick is charged down. Play on was the call from Klein. Then knocked down by Hodges. Penalty. Penalty to New Zealand for offside.
The Kiwis have to keep their heads about them here. Whatever happens, out the back end of this passion, this excitement, this lifted intensity, they've got good field position now. They've got to play smart. The leaders in this Kiwi outfit, Wagner, Jones. I know Ruben Wickie's off, but the 2 back rowers, Kidwell. They've got to get this side composed and know that it's going to be a completed set, maybe a kick into the in-goal area that's going to build the pressure they need to score points.
Tupou took a charge, lifted the knee as he got to the line. Matua did well to hang on with Mason. 12 metres out from the line. I want Kidwell to take another run. Now the ball with Blair. Blair Tackled by Hindmarsh. 5 metres out from the line. Kiwis on the attack. Trailing by 6. Jones back for Webb. Floats the ball high over the top. Manu Vatuvei's with it. Comes in field. Gazdia's there. So is O'Donnell. They make the tackle. Still 5 minutes out. He's lost the ball. Manu Vatuvei has lost it. Referee Klein, looking for instruction from his touch judge, is going to say knock on. We will take a break. Test match rugby league on 9. On this Saturday night, we're at Mount Smart Stadium. 12 points to 6 scoreline to the Kangaroos, and their tempers were more than simmering at the moment. Here's Thurston. Back in possession. Nice run from Jonathan Thurston. Tackle 25 away from his own line. Carmichael Hunt, 2 tries early in this match.
Got to be careful here, the Kiwis. Don't let the emotion get the better of them, particularly in the defence, because Australia have shown how dangerous they are. And again, the tactic of Cameron Smith. As soon as Australia get to the 40, they kick. A long kick into the corner. Great chase here from Hodges. They're going to get a line drop out of this, will they?
Superb play. Yeah. What a kick from Cameron Smith. Well before the last chases there. Nothing wrong with what Tamo Tupou did.
Well, that was their opening gambit. They get out to the 40-metre line. They don't care what tackle it is. They get the dummy half to kick. No better kicker in the game than Cameron Smith. The left foot down deep into the corner, rolls end on end on end, finds the in goal, and he's immediately challenged by Inglis and Hodges. And good work from Ryan to back it up and keep him in the in goal. And a perfect result for Australia. And that keeps the enthusiasm level down for New Zealand, who've now got a line dropout and 6 tackles to defend their goal line.
Led with a line dropout, fielded by Hunt. It'll be brought back here by Brent Kite. Kidwell is involved in the tackle with Mannering and also Blair. Now Cameron Smith, very short 10 metres. He's got him for incorrect play the ball.
Ouch. That's got to hurt.
For walking off the mark bit.
Yeah, perfect position to pile on some points. The Aussies knew it. They'd be hurting right now. But the penalty's been given. The pressure has been released. We'll watch it here a little bit closer. Walking forward. Well,
it's a difference in interpretation. I mean, in the NRL, they're happy for them to walk forward, and it just brings the defensive line closer. You don't get a great deal of advantage, but referee Klein just had a word in Brent Kite's ear. He just said, don't walk forward. So he sent a benchmark of his own, his referee. Ball loose for the Kiwis, now for Webb. Tackled on halfway by Kite. Cross from Frank Pritchard. Interchanges 3 apiece so far. 45 metres out. He might be just struggling a shade with his 10 metres at the moment, the referee.
They're coming off their line very quickly, Australia. Look, they're resetting okay, they're not offside, but they're showing great speed off the line there to get up in defence.
Jones out for Kidwell, and on it comes Soliola trying to position his man. Tupou put it down. Thurston with a quick pick-up, straight away on the attack. Here's Carmichael Hunt. He runs into a Kiwi sandwich.
Well, that was a try gone begging. He did tremendously well there, Soliola, to put his winger away. And the one-arm grab from Tupou put the ball down. He'd have had a free run to the try line.
Now Smith and Lockyer switch back. Mason's with it. Crowd lifts again. He's wearing, well, the Kiwis have got the black jumpers, but Willie Mason's got the black hat. He's the bad guy here. Lockyer switches up for Thurston. Quick exchange of play. Look at Kite explode through the gap. Overhead ball now for Hodges. Inglis on the inside. Inglis with the ball. Classic tackle by Webb. Quick play the ball. Hodges with it. Stumbles. 10 metres out from the line. Massive overlap. Intercept by the Kiwis. He's got him offside. Penalty to the Kangaroos.
There's an opportunity gone begging here on a couple of occasions when the Aussies make good yards on the fringes. Gus, I've heard you talk about this, attacking back towards the post. Once you spread the Kiwis, because they're big and they move laterally, not as good as some other players, as the defence widens up, the gaps get bigger, and the Aussies aren't taking advantage of that. Justin Hodges got out of dummy half off the back of this play. We'll see Brent Kite find himself in space, go all the way. Throw a Hail Mary over the top to Justin Hodges. who gets the ball back inside to Inglis, and this is where the opportunity comes to attack back to the post. The space is there. Hodges gets out. Players need to be pouring into holes now. They get the penalty in the end, but I think that's something they need to be addressing.
Well, of all the Kiwi players, Stacey Jones was the only one onside. He was the one who ended up with the ball. Hodges had run a fair weight, and a respect here for the state of the game. Thurston will look to put them 8 points in front rather than search for a try.
2 from 2 so far tonight. They've all been on this right-hand side of the uprights. The horn is pretty good, pretty loud. Thurston with a kick. It is an 8-point lead. We break Test Match Rugby League on Channel 9 at 14 points to 6. Channel 9 coming to you from Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland, the first match of 7 in the Tri-Nations. Australia in front by 8 points, 2 tries to 1. In a most entertaining first half, and still 8 minutes remaining in it. O'Donnell really crashed in the tackle. He's set off here in round 23 playing for the Cowboys, Luke O'Donnell. A striking charge. Here's Cameron Smith. Good to see Sean Berrigan for the Australians. Kick from Lockyer. Oh, that's a good take by Webb. Hands above the head. Feet off the ground. Gets it back over the 20-metre line. Now Utame Tupo runs straight at his Broncos captain Lockyer.
And again, out to the 40, about tackle 3 or 4. Kick from dummy half from Lockyer. And look at the way New Zealand have bunched in behind to play the ball there. Picks is courtesy of Sky Sports. We mightn't get a good read on that, but some of those New Zealand forwards very, very tired getting back into position with this onslaught of kick chase from Australia.
Now Kalis, footwork and his run runs up into Hindmarsh. Parramatta teammates. O'Mealy's ready for his second stint in the game. Wickie's back out there for the Kiwis. Jones kicked downfield. Communication is good there between Hunt and Inglis. The 2 teenagers there at the back. Tackle 31 metres out from his own line by Kalis. Now Inglis with it. Blair rushed up off the line, came up with nothing. And now just outside their 40, the Australians. Now Berrigan's into the play and away for Brent Kite. Brent Kite representing Manly, as is Steve Matai in the New Zealand side tonight. They are the 2 Seagulls players involved in this test. Only 3 NRL clubs not represented tonight. It's been a while since we haven't had a Newcastle player in a test match. Souths and Canberra, the other 2 clubs. Australians come centre field and a bumping tackle there on O'Donnell. Blair again bounced off, penalty to the Kangaroos.
Go in there, mate.
This is 32 metres out from the line, centre field.
And huge pressure here for the Kiwis. Lockyer this time will kick for touch. And Australia have been very, very dangerous out. Well, I love the look at this back line. What skill and flair it's got.
Wiki it was penalised. So Mealy went for a run and Mannering came bouncing out. His health is intact, thankfully. Some haven't been so fortunate. Now the ball comes back for Kite. Sparkling debut so far for the Manly front rower. 5 metres from the line. Lockyer, switch of play. Finds Thurston. He wants another switch. Inglis is centre field. 5 metres out, another strip of the ball.
Tackle was made, he went back onto it.
Call from referee Klein, it's 5 out. They lead by 8. 10's not a great deal of difference. Now they go for O'Mealy to take another run. O'Mealy is held up by Webb. 2 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Berrigan. Holds it up there for Thurston. Put him under a bit of pressure. Flick out the back for Gazdia. Gazdia is held by Mannering. And Kalis and Jones. Still 5 minutes away from the New Zealand line. 5 minutes remain in the first half. Kite is tackled. Good goal line defence by New Zealand. Now Berrigan, dummy half. Thurston, out they come with Lockyer. Lockyer out for Carmichael Hunt. gets it inside for Hodges. He ran into Hindmarsh, then he decides to run across field. He's done that for 30 metres. He ran around the back of Gasnier. Well, he's run across field 45 metres and has conceded a penalty.
Well, that's bad play from Australia. They've been really dangerous out wide with their decoy runners and this slick black line. But all of a sudden, they decided on 3 or 4 inside plays around the post. Just ate up the tackle count. By the time they went wide, they'd gone from poor field position, and Hodges had to run 70 metres across field before conceding a penalty. I'm sure the coach will want to talk about that at half-time.
Gus, if you're going to back Justin Hodges into a corner on that left-hand side of the field, he's going to come up with that play more often than not. He feels comfortable moving from left to right, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes to run back infield from this side of the field. He's probably playing in the wrong position at left centre. More preferably likes to play at right centre. Of course, you've got Gasnier over there, and that's his favourite side.
Now, New Zealand back in possession. Wiki Jones, quick hands on to Kalis, and the tackle was classic there from Sean Berrigan, the Clive Churchill medal winner from the grand final. New Zealand in possession. Been a while since they've been down in the Kangaroos half. Reminder too about next Saturday night. We'll be coming to you live from Melbourne, the Telstra Dome. Australia versus New Zealand, game 2 from 7:30 next Saturday night. That is live, and hoping for a big attendance down in Melbourne as well. 45 metres away now. New Zealand in possession here in Auckland tonight. Jones down the short side, drives the kick for the corner, wants it to pull up, Hunt's with it, chases there, Tupou's got him, and then they push him back. Klein didn't say tackled. It'll be line drop out, lost the ball at the finish, and it's taken touch in goal by the Kiwis. They're still going to say held in goal for a line dropout. They're going to say line dropout here. And I'm not so sure that the Kiwi didn't come up with the ball. They don't get him to the ground. Good work here, good strength. Get him back in field. Now there's a bit of a script there. Well, I think the line dropout call's fair enough. He wasn't going anywhere. The referee should have called held when he was in the in goal before he lost possession of that. Here's a chance for the Kiwis on the stroke of half time. Would love to score some points here. 2.5 minutes before the break. It's been a willing first 40 minutes. Points now would be terrific. Kiwi cheered up. They're running towards the southern end of the ground in this first half. That's where the majority of their support is too. It's full at the southern end. Kiwis 42 metres out from the Australian line. Quick run out of dummy half there for Jerome Rapati. Makes 10 metres. Quick play the ball as well. Webb on for Whitney. This is the roll on they were hoping for. Whitney with the ball. 15 metres out from the Kangaroos line. New Zealand trailing by 8 points. To the right-hand side with Jones. Takes it right to the line for Pritchard. Tackled 5 metres away from the Australian line. It was Thurston around his ankles. Jones holds it up. Pass is dangerous. Big trouble. Away goes Gasnier. Mannering's not going to catch him. He's staying with him. Gasnier still with the ball. Mannering is valiant. Gasnier for the corner and scores for the Kangaroos. Mark Gasnier on an 85-metre run has scored. But what a chase from Simon Mannering. Took him right to the wire. But the Australians have their third try just a minute out from half-time. Well, put that down as the crucial moment in this game. Attacking the line, Stacey Jones. Australia are up quickly. He throws a loose pass, and it's picked up with Gasnier. I'm not sure that Gasnier was onside at the play of the ball. He was up very quickly. Mannering, very valiant in his chase. Gasnier just does enough to get to the line. I think he had a little bit more in reserve. He was just happy to get there. And you'll see when this pass goes from Stacey Jones, Gasnier's right up there, loves to defend up and in. Catches the bouncing ball in one hand and was able to go the distance despite the attention and efforts of Mannering from the inside.
He had no option there, Stacey Jones, when he threw the pass. His outside support players were far too flat, with the Australians playing up and in-style defence, getting right up in your face with great line speed. There was no option. He probably should have held the ball, end up throwing, and this guy on screen now sprinted to outrun this bloke near 100 metres to put the Aussies in a good spot going into the half-time break. That's heartbreak for the Kiwis. It really is. They'd sort of done well to consolidate. I thought at 12-6 that Australia could well run away in this first half, but a little bit of fisticuffs and physical football. The Kiwis had earned their way back into the game, and one loose pass and snapped up by Gasnier, and it's going to make it very, very difficult for them now. Well,
Mannering may be rewarded for his efforts in part. He's made this conversion attempt a tough one for Thurston with that chase all the way to the corner. Here's Thurston's kick. Thurston, though, has none of it. Swings it right to left. Gets it over the black dot. Half-time in the opening game of the Tri-Nation Series. We will break with the Kangaroos leading New Zealand by 20 points to 6. Here's Tim Sheridan.
What a match, what a first half to open the 2006 Tri-Nation Series, and the 40 minutes so far, we've pretty much seen it all. The Kangaroos in front, 3 tries to 1. What an important try just before the break by Gasnier, but it was the Kiwis who opened the account by Vangana. This one is going to be a close second half. All the action when we return. Second half on the way. At the moment, the Kangaroos in front by 20 points to 6 in this, the first of the Tri-Nations Tour for 2006. The Green and Golds in front by 14. And the teams are already out there in Auckland. Kiwis ready to get underway. 14 points adrift. And we'll get back to all the action now. Your commentary team led by Andrew Voss.
Tri-Nation Series. Blair it is for the Kiwis, tackle 20 metres away from the New Zealand line. The party taking over acting half duties late in the half from Dean Halatau. We saw make his test debut at fullback last year, scored a couple of tries as well. Here's Wiki, taken low down by Thurston, who's been very impressive tonight for the Kangaroos. Blair goes for another run for New Zealand. Tackled there by Kynan Berrigan. And the Kiwis do what the Australians did in the first half. Ropati kicking out of dummy half from inside the 40, fielded by Hunt. Back he comes for the Kangaroos. There's the hop. Quite as prodigious a step as we've seen on some occasions through Carmichael's career. Outside their 20, King with it. He started the blue in the first half. I see that replayed a number of times, I reckon. Brent Kite now with the ball, 15 metres inside the half. He was lifted, got in an awkward position. And that's the reason for the penalty. Simon Mannering, Kalis there with a lift. So it's more Kalis as the offender. Kangaroos get a 20-metre help downfield. Restart of play, Thurston to centre field with O'Mealy. O'Mealy's just brushed aside from 2. Now Lockyer, 35 metres away from the New Zealand line. Second minute of this second half. Berrigan dumps it off inside for Hindmarsh. He puts his own bump on. He put 3 fens there in the one movement. He'll make himself easy to be tackled there by Rapati. Now Thurston, switch back to centre field. Gasnier's there, he puts it off on the ground. New Zealand come up with it, now they've lost it. Referee Klein says play on for the Kangaroos. Then Berrigan lost it in the play the ball. It hasn't been called up. Well, he just lost the ball, it has to be a knock on. And there's no doubt the call has come, thankfully, from touch judges or upstairs. Referee had missed it. But Berrigan lost control of the ball in the ruck.
As he's going up to play the ball, he's lost control of it.
So advantage had been played, I assume.
Second rolls and locks bind.
And it will be a New Zealand fee.
Nathan, bind around.
I like the idea of Gasnier going in field there. He nearly opened them up. Slick little play back on the inside from Thurston. Here's Berrigan in the play. The ball kicks it forward. You can't do that anymore. It's an automatic scrum feed to New Zealand. Even though the referee missed it, the linesman picked it up. They've got to get some possession here, New Zealand. Only 30-odd% of possession in the first half is not enough, and already conceding a penalty in the second half. They can't win this without the ball. Goes without saying.
Pritchard with it for New Zealand. 28 metres out from their own line. Wiki ready to rumble again and locks horns with O'Mealy. Set it at the top. 51st test. What an achievement for Ruben Wiki tonight. Now Jerome Rapati. Needless to say, he is the leading man in appearances.
See, coming out of trouble, I like that play better. I like Rapati running from dummy half rather than trying to do it with their big men, because Australia will just accommodate that easily. They don't like the dummy half run too much, though.
Almost lost the ball in picking up, then copped a heavy tackle from Webb. Now with the ball is Inglis on debut tonight. Good chase though by Brent Webb on screen from the end of that kick. Now Thurston They've been out from the line. Hunt is sweating on an error from the Kangaroos here, New Zealand. O'Donnell's with it. All his work has been rugged tonight, one way of describing it. Vanganar made the tackle with Blair. Now Thurston. O'Donnell got up, pushing, put a real shove on Blair. He just went back to his defensive mark, the young bloke. Kangaroos 30 out from their own line. Berrigan on for Thurston. They're set right. Lockyer across field now for Gaznia. Runs at Jones. He had the right up free. Got it back for Lockyer. Now for King. Kangaroos, great stuff. Now kicks in field. Thurston chasing. Webb's back there. So too is Tupou. Tupou's got the ball for New Zealand. Tupou runs into Hodges. Loses the ball. It's picked up. Knock on New Zealand. Right on their own line.
That was a huge play from Justin Hodges. He's come up from the other side of the field. Tame Tupou looked to be doing some great work as we see Stephen Price watching in the stands. The kick comes back inside here from King. Very well placed. Jonathan Thurston makes the first attempt. Darren Lockyer the second. Tame Tupou was on his way out. Justin Hodges comes in with the big shoulder. Aussie's in great position now to attack once again.
Make sure you wait, Brent.
That is a huge play. Good work for him to be back there, Tupou.
Arms around, Nathan. Nathan,
But his Bronco teammate, Mr. Hodges, just give it to him.
15 metres out. Lockyer passes up. It's 20 points to 6 now. Inglis cops the treatment in the tackle. They get in there, Matai, Webb, Kalis. But this is real pressure on New Zealand right now. To centre field, Berrigan, switch of play. And Ryan is tackled and thrown down a second time. 5 away from the line. Berrigan for Thurston. Little mix up there. O'Neilly then is a sitting duck in front of Frank Pritchard. 10 metres out from the line, he will play it. Berrigan, Lockyer's left side, he's with it. Lockyer, Carmichael Hunt, then put on the ground, kicked off the deck by Inglis. It all breaks down for the Kangaroos, and the Kiwis hang on.
It didn't look set down that left-hand side. In fact, it looked scrappy, and it ended up being scrappy. Carmichael Hunt had nothing to go to here. So what he ends up trying to do is try and come up with a brilliant play, and it just didn't work.
It's poor play, Ben. You know, in the first half, this is about the third time I've said this. In the first half, they look so dangerous out wide. You see some replays here from our Sky Sports cameras. Looking at an incident to play the ball there, but Steve Matai may have injured himself. But they're just not getting set like they were in the first half. And they've tried for some dinky little plays around the ruck with inside passes where really they just need to shift the ball to the edges, be in good position, and they'll score tries.
Gets in the dummy half, gets offended on Hindmarsh. Now Hindmarsh decides to go lower at second attempt. Still Vanavai was proving a handful. It's finished off by Gaznia. Rapati in field. Wiki, they came rushing up, and he had to put a spin on to avoid copping the full treatment there from O'Neilly. Rapati another run for New Zealand outside the 40. He's doing well for them, Jerome Rapati. Warrior, this New Zealand lineup. Put his name in the headlines this year. Got 4 tries against the Roosters in one of the club matches.
They'd notice a big difference, New Zealand, if they didn't order the dummy half running. Just building it up with Wiki and Kalis and Azatazi and these fellas in their own half. Australia just lacked that up. Really good. But the dummy half running looks sharp and does make meters for them.
Carmichael, he almost got through there. Kalis had him. Blair had him as well. Back to their own 30 now, the Australians, and across comes O'Donnell, looking lively, away for Ryan, almost a chance to offload in the Soliola tackle, but finished off there by Vanganar. 39 metres out from their own line, penalty to the Kangaroos.
Don't delay it.
Easy field position once again. Kangaroos are going to find themselves with an opportunity to attack the Kiwi line. I spoke in the first half about the Kiwis keeping cool heads. I know for sure and certain the Aussies don't need to try and be brilliant. If they can build pressure, if they can maintain possession, the brilliance will come. They've just got so many wonderful athletes, wonderful footballers in this backline, even up the middle, that can score points. Hold onto the ball, stay up the other end of the field, and the points will come.
So Australia in possession, and it will be Kite to play at 35 metres out from the New Zealand line. Here is Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh goes up. His usual load of work. Tackled there by Kalis. Berrigan, switch by Lockyer, nice and flat for Thurston. Then inside comes Inglis, puts the footwork on, and Greg Inglis, their special talent, goes through the centre. He may have his first test try, just checking with a video referee.
I think he came through and
It
actually
may be the
straight into
fourth
the
try
defender.
tonight for the Kangaroos.
Looking at an obstruction play up the middle of the field here. And again, one of these sleek backs coming in field, looking for inside passes up the middle. Brushing through some tight defence to switch, and then the decoy run back on the inside. I don't think we've got any obstruction there. And then the beautiful step and evasion of Inglis easily got around Webb to score the try. It'll look so good from head on. Decoy back on the inside, Inglis. And this zoop, he's gone. Webb didn't see which way he went.
He's 6'4", he's fast, he's got fantastic footwork, he's strong for his age. I've been in and around him. He's got great football nous. He's a left winger. He's found himself up the middle, and here he uses all those beautiful skills. They're going to make him a superstar in our game. And this is what the Aussies needed to do. They needed to find good field position and then get to the ball to players like this.
I don't even know what the video referee's looking at here. I can't see an obstruction there anywhere that could have stopped this man scoring a try. The Australians have gone way back the other side of halfway.
20 points to 6 half-time, about to become 24 to 6, and no! Well, there you go. Well, the Australians are all the way down the other end of the field. They've come up with penalty.
That's a disgrace.
Stress again. We've got one New Zealand video referee. We've got one Australian. They're up there. Might have been rock, paper, scissors to decide that one.
Well, sack both of them. That's a disgrace. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Well, it keeps the Kiwis in the hunt, and Inglis has denied his first test try.
Why have they denied a try? What was it?
I can't help you, Gus.
That's a disgrace.
So New Zealand with the ball on halfway. Wiki with it. Now Jones. Across it comes with Webb. He's got it over the head of Matt King. That's not easy. He's about 7 foot. Out it comes for Vanavai. He gets away from King. Back in field, Manu Vanavai. All the time at the left arm three. 25 metres out from the line. New Zealand looking to make the most of an unexpected chance. Blair with the ball. Tackled low down by Hindmarsh. Now Rapati out to the right. Jones with it. Kiwis. Kidwell lifted up by Hindmarsh and dumped down. 9 metres away from the line, New Zealand, trailing by 14. Jones comes out the right-hand side. Soliola with the ball. Wrapped up low down by Hodges. 2 metres away. Jones gets a quick old pass. Picked it up off his bootlaces. Kick out of the corner. Vanavai's got a chance, but Lockyer's there. And gets pushed almost out of the stadium. Line drop out for the Kangaroos.
It's a good lesson here for wingers. That when there is a cross-field kick that's going to land short of you, stay out on your wing. Vanavai is way too far in field here and doesn't look for the lucky bounce on the outside. And when it comes, it was the alert Lockyer that gets there first. In the end, Vanavai gets there and pushes him dead. But had he stayed on his sideline and played for a little bit of luck, and so close there to the gutter, could have been injured, the great player there, getting up a little gingerly. But had Vanavai stayed on his wing and played for a little bit of luck, we would have had a New Zealand try. What did they just allow that try for?
They're working on it. We'll try and get an answer from Mrs. McIntosh and Nash as Wiki returns for New Zealand. Wiki's ready for the quick play the ball. Got away from the embrace of Berrigan. Now for Rapati, who's really added something to this New Zealand performance. Jerome Rapati. We've got Motu Tony to come to the side. He's playing in the Super League Grand Final this weekend. He will be their first choice dummy half, but Rapati's giving them something to think about. Whanganā for Jones. And it comes for Webb, and up came O'Donnell. Took the man. It was good play to Luke O'Donnell. Now Webb 15 metres out from the line. Jones again. That time put down by Kalis. Play on the call. Last tackle New Zealand. Matai dummy half. 15 metres away from the Kangaroos line. Back for Jones. This time kicks it across for the winger Tupou. Comes down Soliola. Comes down for Hodges. And Kangaroos are back in possession. The official word was obstruction, obviously. We can't identify exactly Who were the perpetrators, Gus, for the no try?
Well, they're seeing things. They're absolutely inventing it now.
Lost ball here. This will be a New Zealand scrum first. Well, the crowd's into it like the score's a 6-all, not 20-6.
Things are happening through this game that allowing the Kiwis to stay in touch. The Aussies don't need this. They know that if they play to the game plan, they're going to put themselves in a position to score points, but it's just not happening. Little things like this mistake allow the Kiwis to continually have a crack.
Jones from the scrum win. Webb trying to circle around the outside there of Gasnier. Gets him down 15 metres out from the line. Manu Vatuvei, dummy half. Jones first receiver. It's all Jones steering the ship. You're not really seeing the 5'8" Vangana put a stamp on it. Jerome Rapati at dummy half. This time Pritchard will run it up. Pritchard 10 metres out from the line. Straightens up, runs into Sivanasiva and Hindmarsh. Kiwis close to points, but as yet just can't get across. Jones, now it looks promising. Vangana inside. Kidwell with it. Stood in the tackle of Kite. Kept alive. Nigel Vangana. Tackled there by Thurston. 8 metres from the Australian line. Half Soliola. Jones. Here for Kidwell. Flicks it straight out the back. Fielded there by Blair. Looking for the one-handed flick. Then put down by Rapati. It breaks down for New Zealand. 9 metres away from the line. We'll break here from Mount Smart at 20 points to 6.
Arms around, Nathan. David, yep. Arms around. Nathan. Arms around, David. Arms around, David. That's it. Hold. I saw away. Hold.
Test match rugby league on Channel 9 on this Saturday night from Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland in a 20 points to 6 scoreline. Big push here from the Kiwis. Free possession 10 metres out from their own line. Australian reporter Ben Jones on the sideline. Willie Mason, haven't seen him in this second half. He does have slight concussion after that charge from David Kidwell in the first half. They have cleared him of any fracture around the eye though, and he's back on the bench. He's just returned from the dressing room, so good news for Willie Mason. And here's Hodges. 12 metres inside the Australian half. Ryan comes off for a rest. Mason going for a fitness test now for the Australians. The 5 inside their own half. Berrigan play the ball from Sivanasiva. Thurston, they rushed up on him. Wiki got there. Difficult bounce there for Webb. Went right over his head. Back to the in goal. Brent Webb with the ball. Gets outside the 10. Tries to run straight through the centre of O'Donnell and Gasnier. Nice little burst of speed. Manu Vatuvei with it. 25 metres away from the New Zealand line. They are still in the contest. It is 14 points to margin. But they just have to score next. And they would hope it is soon. See Maddai now. Hasn't had a whole lot of attacking opportunities for New Zealand on his test debut. Rapati. Up over halfway goes Asatazi. Nice spin. Got him away from Sivanasiva. Held there by Berrigan and by Kite. 35 metres from the line. Jones with the ball. Kicks it high. Going to test out Carmichael Hunt. Hunt's across there with King. They collide. And King comes down with the ball. Gasnier. Lockyer. Back for Gasnier. And held there in the tackle of Pritchard. 24 minutes remaining in this opening game of the Tri Nations. And a reminder about next Saturday night, live from Melbourne, 7:30 on air. And the Kiwis and the Kangaroos do it all again. The Kiwis strengthen next week. Jason Kalis to arrive. Motu Tony to come out. Jamie Lyon will be available for selection for the Kangaroos. Here is Berrigan for Lockyer. Then out for Kite. Kite effective. That time the pass doesn't find the mark. Scooped up there by Thurston. Thurston's 30 metres away from the line. Tackle count has restarted. And that helps the Australian cause in this set. Here's O'Donnell.
They've really started the bunch in this second half, the Australians. They've lost all their shape. They're really not looking for any plays. They're just running out of dummy half. Now Lockyer may get into some space up the middle.
Flicked it around there for Thurston. Couldn't do the same. It'll be a knock-on against the Kangaroos, but a lovely little touch there from Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, it was, but it came out of a little bit of impromptu play, and I'm not really impressed with the way the Australians have played this second half at all. Looks to me as though they're having a little bit of a coast at the moment. There's no shape or ball movement in their play coming out of trouble. They've stopped kicking from dummy half, which was effective in the first half, and they've virtually held the Kiwis in the game, albeit courtesy of a video referee decision. Why did they disallow that try again? What was it?
Obstruction. Over here, I think they have an expression that if something's bad, they call it fungus. There was a fungus call. That's the expression. I was watching New Zealand TV today, and now a penalty comes for New Zealand. 45 minutes out.
The Kiwis really have to step up here. I think what they've done is basically tried to play too much to the structure, too much to the game plan that the coaches give them. They've almost been sitting back, waiting for the set play to work. Now they've got to start to play a bit of ad-lib. Go forward in numbers, throw the ball around a bit. They've got the players there that can get points. Let's go up another gear, boys.
Tony Pulatua back into it and tackled 10 metres away from the line. Rapati comes the blind side for Frank Pritchard. Pritchard held in the tackle of O'Donnell. The defensive work of the two Australian second rowers tonight has been outstanding. O'Donnell and Hindmarsh. Out it comes down for Webb. Showing the ball there to Kinwell. Goes wide for Soliola. 15 metres from the line. Back for Tupou. Tupou's held up there in the tackle. Over the top came Matua. 10 metres from the line and trailing by 20 points to 6. Now Adam Blair with the ball. He's looked like offloading every time he's touched it, young Blair. Rapati, Jones. Jones gets the ball away, put pressure on Pulatua. Garcia coming up quick on the outside. Webb with it. 5 metres out, juggle there and turn. Jerome Rapati's got over. Try to New Zealand. It's 20 points to 10. And Jerome Rapati rewarded with a try here that keeps the Kiwis in the contest.
And that's good pressure around the play the ball area, and by that I mean plenty of support, standing up on the advantage line and giving the Australians no opportunity to come forward and put pressure on. It was a little bit of a juggle, but the fact that they've played that set of 6 a little flatter, thereby taking the Australians up and in defence out of play. And some nice work here from a party. Daniel Anderson years ago wrapped this player, said he would play for his country. He's done that. He's just scored a crucial try to get them back in the game.
Well, it's a nice strike rate. He's got 3 tries. He's in his second test. Jones from in front, successful. Game on here at Mount Smart on Channel 9. It is 20 points to 12. Welcome back to Mount Smart Stadium on Channel 9. First match of the Tri-Nations, the Gillette Tri-Nations. And a 20 points to 12 scoreline. They're ifs and coulds, but what if Gazdia doesn't score the 85-metre intercept right on half-time? 8 points is the margin as we go into the final quarter of the game. Crowder factor as well, lifting this New Zealand team. Pulatua with it. Tackled there by Matua. Kite. Now Kidwell, he just dumps it off. There was risk in that. Scooped up there by Webb. He did well. New Zealand in possession. 5 inside their own half. Now Rapati, Jones. On it comes for Asatazi. Asatazi taken the ground by O'Donnell and Hindmarsh. Last tackle here for New Zealand. Rapati, left side they come. Webb, deft kick. Deft has got it to the corner. Carmichael Hunt's with it for the Kangaroos, leading the chasers. Maddai makes the tackle.
Here's where the balance has got to be right. There's got to be a bit of ad-lib football, a bit of instinctive stuff, and they can play that, but there's got to be balance with a commitment to the 1% plays, and we're seeing it right now. Line speed in defence. Get up in the face, get numbers in tackles, put pressure on the Aussies to create the opportunities.
Munganar came up with a hit there that left Tony Pulatua behind. He went chasing Inglis, he got his teammate. Few of the Kiwis down at the moment. Australia in possession, 28 metres out from their own line. played by Hodges. Now Sivanasiva. Nice charge from Petro. Sivanasiva ran up there at Azatazi. Got back to the 40-metre line. 18 minutes remaining. Lockyer gets those green and gold boots working with a kick. Now bounces across. Webb has been great for New Zealand tonight. Decided to go close to that touchline. King there to make the tackle. The 20 points to 12. Steve Maddai with the ball. The Manly centre.
Give a little bit of sniff here, the Kiwis. Ricky Stewart now going to Willie Mason on the sideline. He's got a welt under his eye, but they're looking for some enthusiasm out there, which has been sadly lacking since the half-time break. They've got to snap out of this, Australia. The Kiwis getting a little bit of a roll on.
Hindmarsh has just made his 33rd tackle for the night. Number 12 in the green and gold jumper. Jones with the ball for New Zealand. They're getting some field position now. And taking the ground is Tony Puletua by Sivanasiva. 21 metres out from the line. Jones is going to kick across again. Vatuvai's getting through. King's there. King is superb for the Kangaroos.
Big play. Great play, in fact. It's one of his strengths. He's a big tall thing. He gets up well under the high ball. He come down well there. Diffused an opportunity for the Kiwis to get some points.
Well, the Giants going head-to-head, Vatuvai and Matt King. But King was supreme there. Now Kite, he's really forced the issue tonight. Brent Kite, if he was going to get a rest, he's played too well. He's just stayed out there. Ricky Stewart has backed Brent Kite. He'll now come to the bench. But very good, the quality game time of Brent Kite. Here is Hodges with a step. Back for a flat-footed Hindmarsh. On halfway, he puts a prop and a step on. A slide, gets up and runs. Loves the combat, loves to run in. And has tackled 40 metres out from the New Zealand line. Smith back out there. Lockyer, great ball. Australia get down the left side. Thurston, forward pass. And caught forward by the referee, who was right in line.
Well, if he'd have looked inside instead of outside, it would have been a try under the post. It was beautiful football down the left-hand side of the field. A little more spark there from the Australians, started by Lockyer, onto Matua. Beautiful ball back on the inside, and Lockyer's in under the post. He only had to look to Lockyer, and he would have scored untouched. Good ball from Lockyer, great ball from Matua. Thurston never looked back inside, tried to get the alley-oop over the outside to Inglis, and he turned it inside to his captain. Game over.
Let's hold in, Nathan. Head in, Roy. Come on, mate. Out.
So Vangana has gone to the sideline. He's got cramp. They decided not to muck about getting straight off the field. That will push Jerome Rapati out. Interchanges. 3 each remaining for the teams now. Use 9 of their 12. The Kiwis in possession on their 20. Steve Maddai comes to centrefield, looking to dash away there from Kite, who didn't get off the field. He was running over to the sideline and we said, hey, you're going good, stay on there. And Halatau, almost back to the 40 for New Zealand. Webb, dummy half. With Stacey Jones kicking from inside the 40, Hunt's well positioned. Takes it on his own 20, Carmichael Hunt. For the Australians, runs straight up at the kick of Jones, and there with Jones was Kidwell.
He's an improved player, Carmichael Hunt. He had some injury problems during the year, came back strongly, played in the premiership winning side, but his football's gone to a new level this season. What an athlete.
Play the ball there from Kite for Smith, inside for O'Donnell. O'Donnell got away from one, that was Pritchard he left behind. Pritchard really languishing right now in the defensive line for the Kiwis. Blair had to make the tackle with Halatau. He's walked off the mark, O'Donnell, and this time you've got Halatau for sticking around in the tackle.
Well, now Darren Lockyer's got to have a sense of timing. He's got to look up at the clock and say 14 minutes to go. We have an 8-point lead. We can put this to bed right here. They showed danger signs down their own left-hand side of the field just a moment ago. I wouldn't be surprised if he looks to go to that side with Carmichael Hunt and try and put this one to bed.
20 metres out from the line. The Kangaroos with Thurston inside for O'Mealy. And O'Mealy held in the tackle of Pritchard and Halatau. Tackle number 1. Smith with the ball. Thurston. Now switch of play. Willie Mason with it. He's 10 metres out. Now he's 5 metres out. Willie Mason. Taken down by Pritchard. Finished off by Webb. Dummy half is Smith. On for O'Mealy. The big ogre's got one. Mark O'Mealy scores for the Kangaroos. His 2 sons, Nick and Jake, will be jumping off the lounge chairs right now. 24 points to 12 with 13 minutes remaining.
Hayes come straight from the sideline and scored a meat pie. Little switch across the back of the ruck, firstly for Mason, who found good ground through the middle. They were setting up. Lockyer was way out to the left-hand side.
Cheers, Craig.
But instead of going there, they came back to the short side. Cameron Smith, that's his favourite little pass close to the line. In Melbourne, he would use someone like David Kedwell. But the two front rowers, one after the other. Mason, first of all, through the middle. Good play the ball. And Cameron Smith, looking as though O'Mealy's going to be a decoy, but then definitely hands it off to him. And O'Mealy, too strong, puts it down. And the Australians can get out to a good lead.
It's going to build into a great little combination as this series unfolds, isn't it? Smith, Lockyer and Thurston. As you said, Gus, Lockyer and Thurston were set up on that left-hand edge, ready to attack. But Smith, he basically played that whole set himself. He was going at the line ball in two hands, getting out from dummy half, created the opportunity at first for Mason. And, of course, a nice little play there to get the big over to crash over for a four-pointer.
Now Thurston to convert. At 24 points to 12. He's nailed 4 from 4 tonight. A couple from the sideline. This one from 18 metres in from touch. Thurston is successful again. 5 from 5. We break with a scoreline at 26 points to 12.
Keep working, guys. Get the ruck area tight. Safety, keep talking on that. Keep working hard.
11 and a half minutes remaining in our first match of 7 in the Gillette Tri-Nations on Channel 9. Kangaroos have a 14-point lead as Mason returns. Massive collision in the first half with David Kidwell. That's where he suffered that swelling around the right eye. Pink shoulder charge. Here's Hindmarsh, tackled by Soliola. Smith for Reedy Matua, almost away from Jerome Rapati.
He's been good, Matua. Playing a lock forward, nice variety and good speed to his game.
Now Thurston back in for Mason. It's as if he's making up for a bit of lost time here, really, Mason. Had a bit too long off the field for his liking. They play at 41 metres out from the New Zealand line. Back for Thurston. Thurston kicks over the head of Webb. Webb is going to have to make a play at it. Chasing through is Hodges. Webb does good. Does real well to get past Hodges. And has tackled 5 metres out from his own line. Wickey's ready to come back, the New Zealand captain. These test matches, these Trans-Tasman test matches, they do have a tendency in the last 10 to have an avalanche of points, and often it's been the Kangaroos who score them. It did happen earlier this year. They got 3 tries in the last 9 minutes. So stay tuned if the green and golds get the ball for more great attack. Kiwis at the moment, though, looking to muster some sort of comeback. Last tackle, 15 metres inside their own half. Rapati will kick. Gets nice contact off the boot. On the fingertips of Carmichael Hunt. He's with the ball, wants to link up with Inglis. Tonight a try in the second half. Haven't seen a great deal of him other than that.
It'll be interesting to see how he starts to handle that wing spot and develop into hopefully what will be a real attacking weapon for this Australian side throughout the series. He's kind of been feeling his way, popped up there at some stage in this second half and created an opportunity that ended up being called no try. But I think once he really gets a feel for playing on the wing, he could really cause some damage.
Now Smith with Thurston lined up deep to the left. Lockyer, out it comes now Hodges. Turned around Tupou, was forced back infield. One time the New Zealand outside defence communicated well to a dummy half. 5 metres inside the New Zealand half. Lockyer, then good ball on for O'Mealy. Great tackle there, Dean Hallertau. He was hurt making it, Dean Hallertau. He took the full weight of Mark O'Mealy. Smith kicks, fielded there by Tupou. Tupou with the ball, 12 metres out from his own line, runs at Lockyer, puts Lockyer on his backside, the Broncos teammates. And Tupou will play at 15 out from the line. Now Manu Vadovai, he's with it. Running back for New Zealand. He is an absolute giant, Manu Vadovai. He's still only 20 years of age. Playing on the left wing for New Zealand, as he does for the Warriors here. Now Webb, outside the 30. Kiwis with Mannering. Hindmarsh there with O'Donnell. Somehow he produced a pass out of all of that. Webb got it in turn off Rapati. Now with it is Azatazi. Got through one tackle. Offloads. Had to pass. Pulatua's got it on the fly. Tony Pulatua. 15 metres out from the line. Back it comes for Kinlaw.
Gee, that was a beautiful pass there from Pulatua at the end. Couldn't find space. Still on the attack, the Kiwis.
Jones off Webb. Then inside for Wiki. Up came Hindmarsh. Ball comes loose. Hello. It's into the arms of Inglis. A tackle there by Azatazi. Great passage of play. And now O'Mealy returns. Hindmarsh, after all of that, he'll go from the field to the interchange. He ran himself and tackled himself to a standstill. Ryan will come on for him. Lockyer out of dummy half. Links up with Luke O'Donnell. There's still some real juice in these tackles. Halatau got up there to tackle O'Donnell. Now for Hunt. Out for Thurston. On for Matua. There is Hindmarsh. He's seen his last football for the night. There's 7 remaining. 26 points to 12. Hunt for Thurston. That look forward. Called again. Spot on down that left side. Away went Inglis.
Yeah, it's bad luck for Inglis. You talk about him trying to make himself as a winger. Well, that will only be in the Australian team, I think. His best position is at fullback. Justin Hodges playing at left centre. His best position, I believe, is fullback. Carmichael Hunt is the fullback. His best position is fullback. Anthony Minicello's out injured, and he was the incumbent Australian fullback. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Reece West is a pretty handy player. Billy Slater,
yeah, but
Brett Hodgson.
They won't get a look in, but these 4 will probably always all be in the Australian side. They're all young, they're all great players, and 3 of them are going to have to play out of position.
And now a drop ball comes straight away from Tupou on tackle number 1. That hurts, and it might hurt a little bit more in just a moment.
And that's the difference between the two sides. Some of these Kiwis have got a very fast burnout rate. They get tired quickly if there's a real passage of intensity, and mentally too, they don't concentrate for long periods of time. Vunganar on the sideline warming up, looking to get a last little run in the game. It's just those little mental errors that really cost them, and the Australians can make them pay.
Hodges tackled here by Soloyola. Pretty fair debut. Hodges got up there, stared him in the eye. Now Hunt with Ryan, tackled ball and all by Menery. To say any of the blokes on the bill haven't really done their job tonight. They've handled the rise up to this level. Here's Lockyer across field, great hands. Hunt was cleaned up though by Manu Vatuvai. It's scooped up there by Gastier. It's play on for the Kangaroos. Carmichael Hunt's been left behind. He was thinking that must be Francis Melly, he's back. But no, it was Manu Vatuvai. Lockyer comes inside with O'Mealy. Tackled 5 metres out from the line. Great scoop up there by Smith. Lockyer gets it out for Thurston. Now it comes up for Inglis. And Inglis, Athletic scores in the corner. Great dive to score the try. They will check it with a video referee. But Gus, I'm prepared to say that is a 4-pointer.
They can't take that one away.
There'll be no fungus decisions here.
Brilliant work there by Jonathan Thurston, and again out on this left-hand side, nicely taken. Tiptoe down the sideline. Ball in the left hand, one-handed.
No. Hang on a second.
Well, to the naked eye, that's a try.
You've got to give it to him, surely. What about the athleticism of this play?
Brilliant. You know, to take the ball high above his head like that, keep himself in play, and then with defence coming across to keep the ball outstretched in the left hand, it's the only way he was going to score this. He could have gone in a little bit lower just to avoid bigger collision. If you stop frame that, you may see the ball come away from the hand a little bit, but at normal speed and at that speed, I think it's fair enough to say he had control enough to put it down.
Well, Ben, if you give Vunganar benefit of the doubt in the first half for the try, you'd have to do the same there for Greg Inglis.
He's got to get it.
I don't believe in the stop frame analysis myself. Yeah, benefit of the doubt, no problem. Why did they disallow the other one?
We'll have to leave that one behind. The 2 teenagers, Hunt and Inglis, have provided 3 tries between them tonight. Inglis gets one on debut. Good on the young bloke.
It was fantastic play here. They worked down that left-hand edge where they've had great success. And it was just a matter of the right players making the right decisions, and Jonathan Thurston's been making them all night. If you ask me, Jonathan Thurston and Carmichael Hunt have been near best on ground. Two guys that haven't had a great deal of football at the back end of the season have come back in great touch. And this bloke here, well, he is a freak. He got the try that he probably should have got earlier. A wonderful athlete.
And that's more of the football that they should have been playing, I believe, in this second half. They could have run up a big number here on New Zealand, who've got a lot of work to do if they want to compete with this. So this is a very, very good Australian team. This back line is bristling with talent. Jonathan Thurston, after a long layoff and only a couple of half games, has come back in fine form.
He's a player that can talk his side around the park, as you like to put it. Gusser is developing into one. Cameron Smith and Darren Lockyer both have great feel for the game, but this bloke here we're seeing just about to take the shot for goal. He knows how to win football matches.
He's dangerous himself too. He likes to make himself dangerous, which is a big asset to everyone around him, because there will be opportunities come from that. His goal kick has been superb. Puts a big hook on the ball. I don't like the hook he does, but he seems to hook it back to the right position.
Looking for his third sideline conversion of the night. That time too much hook to the left-hand side. He's kicked 5 from 6. And it's 30 points to 12 with 3 minutes remaining. Game 1's going to go to the Kangaroos, and we start to focus on next week. Down in Melbourne at the Telstra Dome. There was that tackle, Manu Vatuvei on Carmichael Hunt. Remember those ones? It was on debut when Carmichael Hunt got cleaned up by Francis Millie. The first game we saw him 2 years ago at Suncorp.
And Frank Pritchard's got him last game. He's tough.
Stacey Jones kicks down to Carmichael Hunt. Willie Mason with the ball. Back there at Hallertau. Mentioned the blokes on debut, 9 of them on debut, so O'Donnell's gone to the bench. Hindmarsh, well may he smile tonight. But I really do think the 9 players on debut have done more than just a competent job tonight. Some of them have been real stars. Here's Hodges, he's been one of them. Goes out here to Reni Matua. And Reni Matua had the left arm free, looking for the inside man. 15 metres inside the Kangaroos half. Andrew Ryan with the ball. Runs up there at Asatazi. Reni Matua's in a bit of trouble now for the Kangaroos. Alfie Langer, trainer of the Australian side. And again, our thanks to the crew here, Sky Sports New Zealand. They're providing the pictures tonight. Smith, switch of play. Thurston gets it out flat. Inglis away down that left side. Tries to kick back in field. I think it came off his shin. Then it's kicked back from Ryan. Fielded there by Inglis. Play on for the Kangaroos. Out it comes for Lockyer. Lockyer with the ball. Kept it alive. Good stuff by Smith. He turns and passes. Out for King. That's called forward. And it was the last tackle, so a changeover. As all of that unfolded, Reni Matua's being assisted from the field for the Kangaroos.
That would be a shame if it was a big injury to him, because he's been outstanding tonight. He's been very, very good.
His only other, his rep debut he made in City Country, he suffered a nasty injury as well. It was up at Lismore. That was an unhappy end that night. Now the ball is with Soliola for the Kiwis. 41 metres away from the line, Tupou. Back to centre field. Wiki kept it on for Jones. Jones then away. Through the gap goes Hallertau. Their support inside. He got away from Hunt. King's there to make the tackle. King makes the tackle on Dean Hallertau. 9 metres from the line. Webb with it. Floats it over the top. Manu Vatuvei scores for the Kiwis. The beast gets over it again. They check it with a video ref.
We're looking at the corner post here and whether or not a hand landed dead in goal before he put the ball down. Looks okay at first glance. No problem, that'll be a try.
Gasnier getting across where he scored a try in the first half. Mannering was the player making the challenge. This will be a try to Manu Vatuvei. It will also be the last attacking player of the match.
They've had their moments in this game, the Kiwis. They've come up with some line breaks in the second half. I haven't really been impressed with Australia's second half. I thought they were a little lethargic. The scoreboard affected the intensity of their play. If we get the green light on this one, The Kiwis in a huddle, already talking about next week's game, thinking, okay, well, it wasn't so good tonight, but maybe they're encouraged by some things that have happened, maybe encouraged a bit by their second 40 minutes. Halatau at hooker, well, they'll have Modu Tony back next week to assist in that dummy half role. Speculator out of dummy half found Vatavai was too strong. King was out of position. He'd gone in to make the try-saving tackle on the initial break from Halatau, so it was up to Gasnier to defend the winger, couldn't get across in time. Stacey Jones with a kick from out wide will be the last play of the game. It's only early in the series. New Zealand have got some massive improvement in them though.
And Jones to finish off the night, bangs one over from the sideline, so we're left with a full-time score of 30 points to 18. 5 tries to 3 in the opening game of the Tri Nations here at Mount Smart Stadium. We'll hand you back now to the studio to Matty Johnson.
So a 12-point ball game in the end, and a classic first half. The Kangaroos, I guess, ran away with it a little bit in the second half, but there's the scoreboard for you. Carmichael Hunt with 2, Gasnier just before the stroke of half-time with an 80-minute length of the field there. O'Mealy crashing over, and Inglis also